Hi everyone, welcome to this Pilates practice. My name's Debbie and I'm going to be taking you through the practice today. So I'm going to be telling you a little bit about myself. So if you've heard this before and you just want to push on to the actual session, then do so. We will be using hand weights today and a block. Today is going to be an all-round session, so we're going to do a little bit of everything I think today. So anyway, if you're new to this, let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name's Debbie. I've been doing Pilates now for around about the last 18 plus years. I started after having a premature menopause at the age of 29. I then got osteopenia. It went into full-blown osteoporosis, and the final straw for me was when I prolapsed my disc. I was on constant medication. I was finding it difficult to move. I was having physiotherapy. It was driving me absolutely insane. So I was like, I need to look for alternatives. I found Pilates, and I have to say I haven't looked back. So if you're here because you have similar ailments, I do hope that these practices will help you. If you're new to it, then obviously always take the lower options and never force your body into situations where you've got pain or anything like that. Just go with what's good for you and your body and how you're feeling today. Some days you can feel better than others, so do as you're feeling in this moment. So as I said earlier, we're going to be using hand weights. I use hand weights because as we get older, our cells depreciate, which obviously weakens the bones, and we need to promote the cells to grow faster and new cells to sort of build the bones up. So if we build up our muscles and we, make good muscle control, it will force the bones to compete and create new cells. So hence I use hand weights for promoting my muscles around my arms, and obviously when I'm sort of holding my core, etc. So that's really good for making the cells grow faster, promoting them. And a block. So we'll be using a block. If you don't have a block, not to worry, you can use something. We're going to be using it between our legs to sort of hold and stuff like that. You can do all the moves without them. If you wanted, maybe if you've got a book or something like that you wanted to use, then that's great. And again, if you wanted to use hand weights and you don't have something, you can use water bottles. Obviously make sure they've got some water in, because empty ones are not going to do a lot. But again, we can do it without those, and what I suggest is that you clench your fists. So when we're doing things, when we're coming down and we want to bring ourselves up, clench our fists. When we're doing arm movements, clench the fists, make the arms work, make the muscles grow. So that's basically me to a T. With Pilates, we breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. As we breathe in, we pull in our core. As we breathe out, we pull the core tighter. We're trying to work all the core muscles. We're trying to hold them tight. If we can support and use our core muscles, we will support our spine, and it makes things a lot easier. So we're going to start on the mat. You can come down with me. I'll be coming down from a seated position. But if you don't want to roll yourself down, then please do just come down from your side. Come down from your left if you have low blood pressure. So if you're coming with me, sit at the top of your mat. So I'm just going to put some music on and I'll join you. Excuse my hair, guys. It looked lovely this morning. I blow dried it, went to work, came home, it was raining, been out for a dog walk, and now I look like I've been pulled through a hedge. So there we go, that's me today. So we're sitting nicely at the top of our mats. We've got our feet firmly flat on the floor and our legs are hip width apart. So we pull in our core, as I said, on an in-breath, and then we start to move down on our out-breath, holding the core tight. We don't just drop backwards. We C-curve, we roll the spine down. We're holding that neck forward and we're rolling ourselves down. We're not doing this. So you're breathing in, pulling in that core, holding that core, and you're going to start to roll down. Now if you get to a point like maybe here where you can't hold it with the core anymore, take your hands behind your legs and use them for support to bring yourself down. Okay, we are just warming up, so, do take behind the legs. Even if you're here and you want to take down behind the legs, you are still working the core as you're coming down. You're putting that core in and you're working it, even if you are holding behind your legs. So let's take ourselves down slowly to the mat. And then when we get down here, we're going to do a nice full body stretch. So if you have lower back issues, take your feet mat width apart, lock the knees in, and with our breathing control, we're breathing and pulling our core. And as we breathe out and push the core more, pulling the core in, we push our spine down into the back. We push away with our arms and we squeeze our legs together. We squeeze the glutes and we squeeze and we push our arms away, keeping the back pushed into the mat. Excellent. And release. Do that again. If you're coming with me and we've got our legs long, same thing. We're pulling out the core as we breathe in. And as we breathe out, we pull the core tighter. We push the spine into the mat and we stretch away, pointing the toes, pointing the fingers, pulling that core in. Breathing in and breathing out, core tight. And then we release down. Fabulous, guys. So we're going to start by checking in with our body, letting everything, let all the muscles and everything relax down before we start the practice. And while we're doing that, just focus on areas that might be tight for you today, areas that, don't want to rest down, that, you've got a little bit of twinges in, and focus on those throughout the practice, making sure that you don't make the twinges the pain anymore. So dropping our feet outwards if we have our legs long. If not, you're here, just allow your legs to relax down. Taking your arms out to your side, and you can have your arms facing up if you want to bring in energy. If you want to ground yourself, you feel like, you've been away and you need to bring yourself back now, down to earth sort of thing. Put your hands down and ground yourself a little bit. Bring yourself back into you. But as I say, if you want to build up energy, then take your hands facing up. And close your eyes down now as well if you can. Or take them cast downwards. It's nice to look internally to see what's going on with the body, rather than being distracted by things that are going on in the room around you. So let the legs go heavy and drop out. And start to check in with those legs now. So look at your feet, looking at your calves and your shins. Look at those knees. Lots of people have knee issues. Make sure the knees are soft, not holding any tension there. And the thighs, let the legs relax. Give them a little scan. Ask them to soften down. Then looking around the pelvis, the glutes and your lower spine. Asking that to relax down, holding no tension there. Looking at your mid-spine, your stomach, your upper spine and your chest. Let it all soften down, don't hold any tension there. Let the torso be heavy and still. Check in with that torso. Ask it to soften. Then look at your hands, your wrists, your lower arms, the elbows and your upper arms. Let both arms rest and be heavy. And then do a little scan, see how the arms are feeling. Ask everything to soften there. And then up to our shoulders and our neck, where we hold a lot of tension. Most people have tension around that area. Just ask it to soften down, and then gently moving your head from side to side to release the neck. Very slowly, just one way, and then the other. And then come back to center. And let it rest. And then let the head be heavy and restful as well. Check in with your head. If you've got any headaches today, if you have, be careful of any down movements where we have our head below the heart. And one more scan from the tips of the toes over your legs, over the torso, over your arms, your neck and your head. Everything's soft and rested. gently in and out through the core. Try not to breathe into the chest. Breathing into the chest is a sign that you're stressed or you've got anxious or you've been doing too much. So slow the breath by breathing in and out through the stomach. Really become aware of your body. We're going to start to take a little bit of movement now. Start moving your arms a little and your legs. Just moving, maybe a little rocking there, just lifting the body. And then everybody to bring their feet up when they're ready. Taking them mat width apart and locking the knees in together. Holding it there for a moment. Taking your arms out into a T shape. Or you can take them in cactus arms where you bend up at the elbows. By doing that, you get a little bit more opening across the chest. But if you've got a tight chest or your shoulders are aggravating, take them back to the T shape. And you can even take them back down by the side if it's too much. It's your body, it's your practice, you do what's good for you. And everybody parting the legs now. And then I want you to take an in-breath, pull in that core. And on the out-breath, core tighter, let's drop the legs over to the left-hand side. And then we get there. And then we allow our body to rest down. Don't hold the breath here. Let everything go, relax into that. Breathe into any tight, tensed areas and ask them to soften down. Don't hold any tension in your face. Keep with the gentle breathing. Don't hold your breath. On your next in-breath, pulling in the core, and at the same time, bring your legs to center, and breathe out, but hold the core tight. Breathing in, pull the core tighter. Breathing out, hold the core tight as you drop the legs over to the right-hand side. Get to your point of tension, and rest. Let the stomach go, let the core go. Breathing into any tensed areas. Asking them to soften down and relax. On your next in-breath, pulling in the core, and at the same time bringing your legs to centre, reaching the centre. This time breathe out and let the core go. You can open your eyes if you wish now, or you can keep them closed down, whatever's good for you. And we're going to take ourselves round onto our sides, and we're going to come up into a tabletop position. We're going to start there today. So when you're ready, take yourself over onto your side, left hand side if you have low blood pressure, and push yourself up onto all fours. Bringing yourself round onto all fours. We've got our nice wrists underneath our shoulders, and we've got our knees underneath our hips. We're going to do a little bit of spine movement, which is known as cat-cow. So some people just drop down, and then as they breathe out, they push up, they breathe in, and they breathe out. With me, because I like to roll my spine, I like to work with my body, I would roll my spine. So as I'm breathing in, I roll my spine, and I breathe out as I push up, and then as I breathe in, I roll back, and I push myself up. And then it's a breath out as I come up, and a breath in. Sorry, it's a breath in when I come up, sorry. And it's a breath out when I roll down, squeezing the core up. So breathing in, squeezing, pushing the core down, breathing out, your options and your choice. You don't have to do it this way. You can do the normal cat-cow. So just do one more here, warming up the spine, and then back here. And from here, take yourself back to your tabletop. We're going to come up into a downward dog. A lot of people do think this is a yoga move. It is, but it's also used in Pilates. It's a really good move because your head is lower than your heart, so it helps the blood to pump round. We take weight into our arms, so we're working our arms, and we're pushing into our legs. We're working the legs and the torso at the same time, so everything is getting moved here. So all round, a great move. If it's too much for you, or if you've got any head issues, then I would suggest maybe just coming to here and doing a gentle rock back and forwards there, just so that you're moving your legs, you're moving your spine, and you're putting some weight, a little bit of weight in your arms. If you're coming with me, we're going to come up to a full downward dog. So from here, we curl our toes under. We're just going to do a little practice move here. So breathing in, pull that core in. As you breathe out, pull the core tight and just lift the knees off of the floor. You don't have to do this, for your option, and holding it there, and then coming back down, keeping the core tight now. So we're going to breathe in, pulling that core tight, breathe out, just lift the legs up again. Let's hold it there for 8, 7, don't hold your breath, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and allow the knees to go back down. This time we're going to come up into our full downward dog. So you're going to breathe in, pulling in that core, and as you breathe out, you do as we did before, pull the core tight, lift the knees up, and then push into the hands, and push the legs back, keeping the core pulled in. Don't worry if you can't get your feet flat. A lot of people will be on their toes at this point, that's fine. And pushing into your hands, and the idea is to push your chest towards your thighs or towards your knees, bending in, really pressing them in, and then gradually walking out your feet to work in the legs, walking them out. And then coming up high onto the tippy toes, pushing them down to the floor. One more little breath here. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And then you can bend your knees here and you're walking your hands back towards your feet. And you're going to hang here like a rag doll. You're just hanging here. And we're just going to do a couple of Pilates roll up, roll downs. So from here, let your hands drop, take a breath in and pull in the core. And as you breathe out, the core's tighter, you start to roll up very slowly. So we've got our hands coming over the top of our shins here, and then they'll come up over the knees, and the lower spine starts to lift. As we hit the thighs, the mid-spine starts to lift. And as we come up, the upper spine lifts. And when the spine's up, you drop your shoulders back and down. You lift the neck and then your head. And that's the Pilates roll up. It's the same thing rolling down. We do it slowly and we do it bit by bit. So we stand tall, we roll our shoulders back and down. We pull that core tight, we squeeze the glutes. We breathe in, and as we breathe out, we drop our chin to chest. So the chin, the head's coming down, and then the neck comes down. The shoulders come forward. The upper back comes down. The mid-back comes down, and your lower back. Now you go to what point of tension is good for you. It may be up here, that's fine. You go to your point of tension, you hold it there for a couple of breaths. In through the nose and out through the mouth. And then on your next in-breath, pull that core tight. Breathing out, you start to roll yourself back up. Now, if you can't do it in one breath, which is actually quite difficult, each breath you take in, you pull the core, squeeze the glutes, and as you breathe out, you pull the core tighter. Keep those glutes squeezed. Let's do do that again. Breath in, breath out, chin to chest. Rolling yourself down, keeping the core tight. Using the hands for guidance down the front of the legs. Go to your point of comfort. Hold it for a couple of breaths. Breathing in, pulling in the core. And as you breathe out, core tight, you roll yourself up. You squeeze the glutes, you squeeze everything tight. Keep the core tight. Support that spine. And this time we're going to go down, we're going to come to the mat. We're going to do a couple of press-ups. Okay, so shoulders back and down, breathing in, pulling in the core, breathing out, chin to chest. Bring yourself all the way down slowly, slow as you can. Come to the floor, you might want to bend your knees here. You walk your hands forward. You come down, and we're going to go into a push-up. So you can push your legs back a little bit if that's good for you. We're just going to do a couple of tricep push-ups here, so the elbows are coming back. Okay, we're not going out, we're squeezing the elbows back for our tricep push-up. We're keeping the core tight. So we're going to do 3 of those, and then you're going to bring yourself back up to a Pilates roll up, back up to standing. Sorry, if you just come up, I need to get an elastic. So roll yourselves up properly, don't come up like I just did. Oh, bring yourself all the way to the top of the mat standing. And then from here, we're just going to take our shoulders back and down. We're going to do a little side stretch. So if you want, you can use your weights here. So have your weights by your sides if you want. So just standing here, you've got your feet hip width apart, the stomach is pulled in, and we're just going to drop ourselves down one side and the other side. Hold it in centre, put the hand weights down. Make sure you bend your knees when you put those hand weights down. Don't just come down like that. Bend your knees and bring them down. Shoulders back and down, breathing in, breathing out. Let's come down. Now roll those Pilates down. Keeping everything tight. Glutes squeezed, core squeezed. All the way down. Walking your hands forward. Taking the knees back if you want. And let's do our 3 triceps. 1, 2, 3, and let's come into all 4 position. Let's do our thread the needle. So we're coming up with our right arm and we're tucking it under the left. 1, 2, and for 3. Bringing the hand down, let's do that on the left, taking the left arm up, bringing it under the right for 1, 2, and for the last one, 3. Coming back to centre, curl those toes under, walking your hands back, push yourself up, holding the breath in, squeezing the core tight, breathing out, core tight, squeeze the glutes and roll yourself up, all the way up, standing, shoulders back and down. If you want your weights, bend your knees and pick your weights up now. Coming up, let's do our side bends. 1 to the left, 1 to the right, 1 to the left, 1 to the right, 1 to the left, 1 to the right. Coming back to centre, taking the arms out in front. Let's do some lifts. So we're going to go 1. If you haven't got weights, squeeze your fists. 2, hold that core tight. 3, bringing the weights down, bending your knees and putting to the side if you're using them, standing back up for our roll laying down. Shoulders back and down, breath in, standing tall, squeeze the glutes, chin to chest. Let's roll ourselves down, all the way to the floor. Walking your hands forward, coming down onto all fours. If you want to move the knees back a bit, let's take our 3. 1, 2, 3. Coming back onto all fours. Let's do our thread the needles, 3 on each side. 1, 2, 3. Coming back to centre, let's take 3 on the left. 1, 2, and 3. Coming back to centre, we're going to do our Superman. So you can either do it with just bringing your one arm up and bringing it back down, or you can take opposite arm to opposite leg. So we're not lifting it right up high, we're doing it just to our hip height and our arm out here. So we're going to squeeze our elbow to our knee for 1, 2, 3, and then bringing that down. If you're just doing it with the arm, you can still come across. Okay, so let's take our left arm, right leg, breathing in, core tight, breathing out as you squeeze that in. 1, 2, 3, bringing that hand down, curling our toes under, walking our hands back. Let's do our Pilates, roll up. Taking a breath in. You can hold your hand weights here as well if you like. So you're coming back down, breathing out. Squeeze those glutes, squeeze the core, the lower back, the mid back, the upper back, the shoulders go back and down, and the head comes up. If your weights are on the floor, bend your knees and pick them up. Okay, let's do our side bends. 3 to the left, 1, 2, 3, 3 to the right, 1, 2, 3. Taking the hand weights out in front. Oh, I've forgotten what we did here. Did we lift them up? Did we go 1? Well, we're doing that now. 2, 3, and then holding that in front. We're going to do 3 circles. So we're going to circle outwards, 1, 2, keep that core pulled in, 3, you might want to put a little bend in the knees, circle forwards, 1, 2, 3, taking them back down, bending your knees and putting to the side if you're holding weights I should say. Oh gosh, I really think I should go to bed and get back up. Roll our shoulders back and down, standing tall, breathing in, pulling that core tight, chin to chest as we roll down. Squeeze the glutes, squeeze the core, bring yourselves down to the mat, walking yourselves forward, bringing your knees down, moving them back if you want for a bit of so you can take them right back now if you want for a deeper tricep. So we're going to do our 3 triceps. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and we come to centre for our 3 thread the needles. Start on the right. 1, 2, 3, and then hold it there. You can do another 3 like that, or you can take the left leg out, holding it at height, your hip height, and do another 3. 1, 2, 3 there. Bringing that hand back down, bringing that knee back down. Okay, let's take that on the left. Taking the left arm up, threading it through. 1, 2, breathing out as you come under. 3. Come back to centre, taking the right leg out this time. Left arm, let's go under for 1, 2, and the last one, 3. Coming back to centre. Let's do our Superman. So wherever you are, if you both arm and leg, breathing out. Sorry, breathing in, breathing out. 1, 2, keeping the core tight. 3. Bringing that back down. Let's take that on the other side. Left arm, right leg. 1, 2, 3. Coming back down, let's curl those toes. Let's bring ourselves back up. Bringing ourselves up, bringing our feet up, hold the hand weights here if you want, and then breathing in. And as you breathe out, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the core, and roll yourselves all the way up. Shoulders, neck, and head. Let's do our 3 bends. So we've got 3 on the left, 1, 2, 3, 3 on the right, 1, 2, 3. Let's take our arms out in front. We're going to lift them for 1, hold that core tight. You might want to bend in the knee. 2, 3, hold in the leg. Let's do the outward circles for 1, for 2, for 3. Inward circles for 1, for 2, and for 3. And then hold your arms out there, squeeze that core in. Let's hold it here for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, bend your knees if you have weights. Put your weights down. Come back to standing. Don't forget as well, when we're doing these hand movements, if you haven't got weights, you squeeze those fists and you work the arms. Standing tall, let's come back down. So breathing in, breathing out, chin to chest. Core tight, glutes squeeze tight. Coming all the way down to the floor. Walking our hands out. Let's do our tricep press-ups. 3 here, wherever you want to be. Let's do them. 3, 2, 3. Coming back up onto all fours. Get yourself comfortable. Thread the needle. So we've got our 1, 2, 3. Stay in here. Taking the left leg back if you're coming with me, or do a 3 as we've just done. So 3, 2, 1. Coming back, putting the hand down. Let's do that on the other side. Left arm. 1, 2, 3. Stand with the arm out, bringing the right leg up. We're coming under for 1, 2, last one, 3. Coming back, bringing that knee back down. Going for our Superman. So we're taking our right arm out, left leg, or just the arm. 3, for 2, for 1. Bringing that hand down. Let's do that on the other side. Left arm, right leg. 3, 2, 1. Bringing that down. Bring yourself down onto your tummy. Just going to do a little bit of a swim here. So take your arms out in front of you. And then take them slightly to an angle. And if you can either just do it with your arms. So let's just work this out here. So you can do it with your arms and lift with your arms. So we're just going to do 3 of those. Or you can do it with the legs at the same time and alternate. So 1, 2, 3. Bringing yourself back up onto all fours. Curling the toes. Bringing yourself up. Knowing they're here. taking your hand weights if you've got weights. Breathing in, pulling the core tight, squeezing the glutes, and as you breathe out, you bring yourself all the way up to standing. Shoulders roll back and down. We're going to go through the whole sequence just one more time, and then we're going to take ourselves onto our back and do a few sit-ups. And then it'll probably be time for some relaxation. Woo! So let's start now. So we're going to do our 3 side bends. So on the left first. So keeping the core tight, breathing in for 1, 2, and 3. Let's go on the other side. 1, 2, 3. Let's take the arms out in front. Let's lift them, bending the knee here. Core tight. 1, 2. Squeeze those fists if you don't have weights. 3. Come into the centre. Let's do 3 outward circles. 1. God, I've done it backwards. Excuse me, guys. I'm awful today. Let's outward circles. 1, 2, 3. Let's do our inward circles. 1, 2, 3. And then holding them here, pulling that core tight. Let's hold for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Taking them down, bending the knees and putting the hand weights down. Backing up to standing. Let's do our Pilates roll down. Shoulders back and down. Core pulled in. Breathing out. Core tight. Squeeze the glutes. Chin to chest. Bring yourself all the way down. All the way down. Onto all fours. And onto all fours. Let's do our tricep push-ups. So get yourself comfortable for where you want to be for those. We're going for 1, 2, 3, coming back, all fours. Let's do our thread the needle, right hand up, 1, breathing out as you go under, 2, and 3. Another 3 there, or with me, leg in the air, under for 1, 2, and the last one, 3. Back to centre. Let's take that on the other side. So we've got 1, 2, 3. Bringing now to the leg now. And here we go under for 1, 2. Hold that core tight, support the spine. 3. Coming back for centre, let's do our Superman. So right arm and left leg, or just the right arm. Going in for 1, for 2. Breathing out as you come in. Taking it back down, let's take it that left arm, right leg. We've got 1, 2, 3. Bring your hand down, bring yourself down onto your bellies, taking your arms out, ready for a swim here. We're going to go for 8 on the swim. So looking down at the floor with your chin there, and then lifting the arms or the legs, both, 8, 7, keep the core tight, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Fabulous. Let's take ourselves back into child's pose. So take our knees mat width apart, toes, big toes together, and we sit on our heels. If that's uncomfortable, you can take your legs together. Go where's good for you. Breathing in. And as you breathe out, bring yourself down, let your head rest. And then if you're with me, pull your arms away and open up the back of the chest here. You'll find the shoulders opening. Really put away with the fingers and then release them. And you can rest with your arms at the top, to the side, or my favourite, on my lower spine here. Just my natural weight of my arms. I'm not pushing down on them, but it just helps to open my hips a little more. You take your option. And then push yourself up, and we're going to come down. So we can roll down. You can do this with weights. Let's get our blocks nearby as well. So if you're coming down from your side, don't forget it's your left hand side if you have low blood pressure. If you're coming down with me, it's a nice seated position here. You can use your hand weights if you want now, or again you can take behind the back of your thighs. Don't put any strain on your back here. So breathing in, and as you breathe out, you start to roll yourself down using your weights, coming all the way down to the floor. So now what I want you to do is I want you to take your block, if you've got one, otherwise just keeping the legs so that they're hip width apart. But if you've got the block, put the block in so you're squeezing them with your knees, you're squeezing the thighs. So don't forget to keep the glutes tight and the core pulled in. And then we'll take our arms overhead. You can do it with or without weights. Breathing in, pulling in the core. And as you breathe out, we're going to go for a sit-up here with the block between the legs, or without the block, entirely up to you. So it's quite a nice move because you're getting pushing the legs together, and you're making the thighs work, you're making the stomach work. We're working our arms. Don't forget to squeeze your fists tight if you haven't got weights. So we've just got another 4 to do here. 4. 3. Breathing in, breathing out, core tight. 2. And the last one coming up here. Okay, we're going to do some teaser now with the block. This is quite a difficult move, but it is a really good move for the core. And if this is all too much for you, you can just do normal sit-ups from here. You haven't got to be coming up, you haven't got to be using weights, you're working, doing whatever is best for you. Don't force your body in any way. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my right leg up, still squeezing the block, taking my hands over, breathing in, and as I breathe out, come up to seated there. So we're just doing 4 of these. If you're, where I am and you want to have a go, you've not done this before, have a go. Just try it. If it's not working for you, don't do it. We've just got 2 more. Try not to throw yourself as well when you come up. Try to roll yourself up slowly. Yeah. And as you're seated there, take down the right leg, take the left leg up, and roll yourself down. And we're going to go 4. 3. 2. And then 1 more. So if you're low down, doing your sit-ups low down, push yourself up now to a seated position. So we're all going to be seated now with our feet out in front of us. I'm actually going to turn around so that you can see. We're just going to do a little bit of stretching now. So now we've worked those legs a lot, we've worked everything a lot. So just sit here, pushing the legs open a little bit. We're going to come down. So we're not just going to drop ourselves forward, down. We're going to bring ourselves forward. So we're pulling ourselves forward. So we're aiming for our chest to come forward here. We're not just dropping down. So taking the hands out and pull away with the hands as you gently pull yourself forward. Now if you're here, that's absolutely fine. Just take there. You might want to just push a little bit into your thighs just so you can bring yourself, feel the opening in your hips here, just to push yourself down. You might want to hold onto your calves, whatever's good for you. You might want to take around the feet and bring yourself down, but don't force anything. Any pain, that's a no-no. Releasing down. Bringing yourself up. Just going to take ourselves, so we're looking over our left leg, we're just going to bring ourselves down over the left leg. Feel a little bit more opening all the way down the length of the leg now as we bring ourselves forward, chin coming down towards the knee. Pushing yourself up. Take ourselves over to the left. Bring it down, chin towards the knee. So you're aiming for the chin to go towards the calf initially, but down towards the knee. Don't just hang and drop. Stretch away, stretch forward. Bringing yourselves back up. Excellent. Bringing the feet back round. We're going to drop. We're going to do a full body bend now. So get yourselves onto your seated bones. Breathing in with that core tight. And as you breathe out, you bring yourself down. This is now you're not going to be able to hold the core because obviously it's being squashed. So you bring yourself down and just come to where's good for you. Again, we're not just dropping, hanging. You can bend your knees up if that's good for you. And you just bring yourself over your legs, stretching away. Every breath in, you rise up. Every breath out, you bring yourselves down a little bit more, a little bit closer. Aiming for your head to come towards your shins. And then pushing yourselves back up. Let's take our last roll down from a seated position. Again, if you want to do it with the weights, if you want to use the block, it's your choice. If you want to come down for your side, then come down for your sides, get down. We're going to do a little bit more stretching and then we're going to have a nice little relaxation. So if you're with me, feet hip width apart, nicely and flat on the floor. Breathing in, arms out, let's C curve down. So we're curving down, breathing out, hold it there, keep the core tight. Breath in, breath out, hold it there, keeping that core tight. Breath in, breath out, hold it, keeping that core tight, hold it there. Breath in, breath out. See if we can go for one more, let's see if we can hold it here. Really hold it with that core. Breathing in and breathing out as you bring yourself all the way down to the floor and give yourselves a full body stretch, whether it be with your feet mat width or whether it's a full body stretch. Don't forget it's the breath in, pulling in the core, breathing out through the mouth, pull the core in more, push the spine into the mat and stretch your legs away, really stretch away. Holding the core tight as we do this. Stretch the arms away, point the toes, point those fingers, and then release. Bringing both feet up. Let's take our right leg in, give it a hug. Breathing in with the core, breathing out, core tight. Drop it down, let's do that on the left side. Breath in, pulling the core. Breathing out, core tight. Squeeze the leg in. And release. Breath in, breath out. Breath in, breath out. Then bring the right leg up to join it. So we've got the right leg and the left leg. We're going to try and do a little happy baby pose. It might be too much for you. If it is, just stay with the squeezing of the legs in and rounding out, opening out the mid and the lower spine. Or you can take your hands around the outside of the feet. And we're bringing the knees down towards the armpits here. We're trying to keep the tailbone down towards the floor. And we're squeezing them down. And we're opening ourselves up here. Nice stretch that is. Really opens the back of the thighs and the hips. You can even do a little rock if you wish. Just rolling yourself. A little massage for the spine. Whatever's good for you. Coming back for centre. Take the feet together, taking around and just pushing down. Squeeze, pulling the core, squeeze the feet together, squeeze them downwards, holding with the hands. So the shoulders will be getting a nice stretch here as well as you pull away. And then release down. Lovely. Taking the feet either mat width apart, hip width apart, or if you want to come to me, with me, you take your right leg over your left leg. Taking our arms out into either a T shape or a cactus arm. Taking a breath in, pulling that core. And as we breathe out, drop the legs over to the left hand side. Open out, relax everything there. Keeping the shoulders nice and firmly on the mat. Feel the gentle spinal twist. If you you've taken one step too far and you're feeling pain, move back. Breathing in, pulling in the core, and at the same time bring the legs back to centre, uncross them, keep the core tight, and centre yourself. Breathing in, core tighter. Breathing out, either taking the legs over, or if you want with me, you're going to now cross the left leg over the right, and you're going to, on the out breath, drop the legs over to the right hand side. Get there and let everything go. Really slowing the breath down now. Breathing in, pulling in the core, and at the same time you bring your legs to centre, you uncross them, and you centre your core, and then you let it go. Everything, just rest now, just stay where you are. Just breathing in through the nose, big breath. Release out through the mouth. And then come into your final relaxation position. So that could be feet mat width with your legs together. Could be your legs long, wherever you feel comfortable. Taking your arms down to the side, palms facing up or facing down. Whatever's good for you. Start to slow that breath. Closing the eyes down and surrendering yourself to the mat and the floor, the ground beneath you. Letting the feet drop outwards, relaxing the feet, all 10 toes, the soles of the feet and the tops of the feet. Feeling your heels in the mat. Let the weight surrender down, relaxing the heels and the ankles. Relaxing your calves, your knees and your thighs. Let the glutes go, feel them in the mat beneath, feel how heavy they are. Release the pelvis, the lower core and your lower spine. Resting heavy on the ground beneath. Release the mid-spine and your tummy, the upper spine and your chest. Let all fingers go. Feel the palms on the backs of your hand into the ground beneath. Relaxing your wrists, lower arms, your elbows and your upper arms. Let the shoulders be heavy. Feel them as the weight goes down into the mat beneath. Release the neck. Release your face. Release your head. So your head is heavy now, rested on the ground beneath you. Your jaw is rested. The cheekbones, your eyes, your eyebrows, your forehead, and all the wrinkles in the forehead relax. We don't want them. And the top of your head. The only movement now is the breath as it rises and falls in your stomach. concentration to that breath. Anything that comes into your mind, just acknowledge it, let it go, and go back to the breath. Feel your body getting heavier and heavier as it softens and releases. Keep slowing yourself down. Soft and heavy. Now start to deepen that breath a little more, making it heavier breath. Start to bring some movement to the body. Whichever way is good for you, start to waken yourself up. Keeping the eyes closed down if you can. Bring your feet up onto the mat when you're ready. Whatever you need to do to feel comfortable. And we're going to take ourselves over onto our sides when we're ready. So I come over onto my left. I shift my hips to the right before I roll over. And as I come over, I make a little pillow with my head, with my hand, or my arm even. So we're resting our head on our arm. Our lungs are now open and free at the back, so we're going to take some deep breaths into those. So breathing in, fill those lungs. Breathing out through the mouth, let it go. Do that again, big breath in, breath out. And you're going to come up to standing, so we're going to do this really slowly. So come round onto all fours with the eyes closed if you can. And then while you're looking down at the floor, gently blink the eyes open. Then curl your toes underneath at the back. Bring your fingertips in line with your knees and push your knees off of the floor. Bring your fingertips closer and push yourself up so that your feet are flat on the floor, and allow yourself to hang there like a rag doll, taking hold of opposite elbows if you wish. Maybe a gentle sway there. And then we're going to come up, we're going to do this very slowly, so I want everybody to put a big bend in their knees, taking your hands to your hips and start to gently push yourself up. Don't forget to squeeze the glutes and hold the core. Pushing yourself up, bringing yourself up slowly, slowly, slowly. The upper back, the arms will go back and down, the neck comes up and you're on your head. Bring yourself forward. Let's shake our arms out. Take a breath in and breathe out. Let's do that again. Big breath in. Take the palms together. Bring your feet together. Bring your palms down to your heart chakra and give yourselves a bow. Well done, guys. Fabulous. I really hope you enjoyed that. I did, even though I was all over the place. I feel better.